The May primaries have come and gone, and it was a busy election night for races across the state and here locally. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, there are lots of exciting races across Nebraska for the May primary election. Let's start right off with the local races, as two well-known names will be appearing on the ballot for the Gering mayoral race in November after pulling in the top two vote tallies in the primary election Tuesday night. According to the unofficial results from last night's voting, Kent Ewing getting 725 votes and Eldon Hubbard getting 497 supporters to advance. Gering Councilmember Ben Backus received 304 votes, or just under 20% of the votes cast. And Gering voters narrowly passed Proposition 1 last night, which will implement an additional half-cent sales tax to help fund infrastructure projects. 827 voters were in favor of the measure, or roughly 56%. And Twin Cities Development Executive Director Jordan Dietrich says this is huge for Gering to help finance those much-needed repairs on road and sewer projects.
It has to be done, so it's either this way, it's all, a couple different ways. It'll be all on Gering residents, utility rates or property taxes or anything like that to be able to fix these things because they have to be done. Or vote yes on Prop 1, and it's a less of a burden on residents in Gering.
The sales tax will sunset after 10 years. And staying in Gering, as the lone incumbent running for one of three seats of the Gering Board of Education will be on the November ballot, along with some well-known names in the community after voters narrowed a crowded field during the primary election. Brian Copsey was among the top vote-getters in the Tuesday night contest. Joining him on the general election ballot will be Greg Troutman, Justin Reinmuth, John Mazer, Colleen Woodward, and Krista Baird. A total of 12 candidates ran for the opportunity to vie for the three seats up for grabs in November. We'll have more news right after this.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
May is Beef Month, a time to celebrate the high-quality beef products that are raised by farmers and ranchers right here in Nebraska. With over 5 million cattle fed and marketed each year, Nebraska is the #1 cattle feeding state in the country. From steaks and roasts to ground beef and kebabs, Nebraska's beef producers take pride in raising safe, wholesome products that end up on dinner plates around the world. Join the beef community by celebrating Beef Month with your favorite beef meal tonight. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Sponsored by Panhandle Co-op and Paul Reed Construction. Welcome back. Lots of local election results to still cover, as two of the three contested seats for Scottsbluff County Commissioner will remain with the incumbent, with one new face set to serve the people in early 2023. On Tuesday night, Michael Blue defeated Commissioner Mark Reichert to represent District 1, while Charlie Knapper and Mark Harris held on to represent Districts 3 and 5, respectively. Blue spoke with KNEB News shortly after he learned that he won.
I guess just glory be to God, because I left it in his hands, and I think he did a pretty good job. Feels pretty interesting. Almost unbelievable.
Well, 4 of the challengers in the race for 3 seats up for grabs in the Scottsbluff City Council race will join 2 of the incumbents on the November ballot. Mayor Jeannie McCarrigan and Councilmember Nathan Green advanced during last night's election and will be joined by Eugene Bott, Betsy Vidlac, Chris Miller, and Matt Solomon. Selena Lerma, the newest sitting member on the council, fell 34 votes shy of making the slate of candidates that will be running in the general election. In the Southern Panhandle, Kimball County's top law enforcement officer has seemingly lost his re-election bid. Unofficial numbers show that David Hoddle defeated Sheriff Harry Gilway by a tally of 431 votes to 413 votes. In addition, there were 4 write-ins. Traditionally, a recount is only triggered if the margin between the top 2 vote getters is 1%. Well, coming up from the break, Bill Boyer's in with your midweek weather forecast. I'll have that right after this on KNEB.TV News.
Why love a rain garden? Let me count the ways. Rain gardens contain and filter water runoff while recharging our underground water supply. They provide habitat for birds, bees, and beneficial insects. Native perennials give 4 seasons of color and texture, beautifying a home while increasing its value. Established gardens are low-maintenance, low-water landscape features, colorful, functional, and sustainable. Rain gardens, brought to you by Tri-City Stormwater. Our water, our responsibility.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
The Verizon family is full of frowns because they're spending too much for their unlimited data and phones, while the Viero family is all smiles because they're getting 4 lines of unlimited data with 2 free Apple iPhone SE for mom and dad and 2 free LG K31 smartphones for the kids, all for just $100 a month. They're saving so much, they're able to get Fido. Find out how you can too at Viero.com or your nearest Viero store. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
We're going to be dealing with, well, partly cloudy skies here through the evening hours. Going to be a bit breezy to windy here early this evening before winds taper off overnight. Don't worry. They'll be back tomorrow, though, as we're going to turn windy and cooler tomorrow. A nice, quiet weekend looks to be coming our way before temps turn warmer next week and a few isolated late-day storms. 73 yesterday, pretty close to normal for this time of year. Our low was 40, right about normal as well. And nothing in the rain gauge yesterday, still running about a half an inch above normal for the year or month, but we've fallen back to an inch or more below normal for the year right now. Boy, take a look at some of these warm temperatures. 96 in McCook. We have at 90s in the central and eastern portions of the state. Very warm conditions there. 91 in Ogallala. Contrast that, though, to 68 here in Lusk. And somewhere in between for everybody else. Most of us are in the 80s, and we have winds out of the southeast, gusting at times up to 20 miles an hour. Not too bad, though, in the wind department. Severe weather threat is off to our east. If storms develop, it's going to be an if, but if the storms do develop, that is the area that we do expect there to be some severe storms in central and eastern portions of Nebraska. Now, tomorrow we shove that area a little further to the west and south across the rest of eastern Nebraska, and then that moves away from us on Friday. All in all, a pretty quiet weather forecast for us here locally, as we should keep the storms away from us. Tomorrow, when you get on the bus, we'll see cloudy skies to start your day, and it'll be partly cloudy, windy on the way home, and temperatures only into the mid-60s. Let's look at Futurecast tonight then. Clouds increase from southwest to northeast across the region. Storms should stay to the north and east of us for the most part. And we're going to see lows overnight dipping down into the 40s and 50s. Now tomorrow we start the day with some clouds out there. Those clouds will decrease through the day. Winds are going to increase, though, through the day. And we'll have an isolated light rain shower possible early in the day. That's really about it. It's going to stay mostly dry and clearing out as we get into Friday as things look like we're going to still be a bit breezy to windy on Friday before things warm up. Quite a contrast of temperatures. You could see very easily where that frontal system is. 80s in the east, and we'll struggle to 60 in the west. Precip going to be very light, if at all. A couple of hundredths at best is all we expect to get out of this system. Tonight, then, we're going to look at windy conditions, especially early, partly cloudy, 53 for a low. Tomorrow, windy again, partly cloudy skies, temps maybe near 70, so about normal for this time of year. We'll be in the low 70s Friday, and then look at Saturday, Sunday near 80. A couple of very nice days. Warm air gets pumped in here Monday and Tuesday. Could set the stage for some late day showers and storms, but we've got 80s to near 90 degrees expected.
I really like how our OB department takes our limited amount of doctors and turns it into a strength. Even though we only have a couple of people, you get to know them well over your entire pregnancy. We have 2 state-of-the-art labor rooms that are new with our last addition. We have a couple of very nice postpartum rooms also right here in the hospital, so they can get as much time with mom and baby as possible.
Welcome back. Taking a look at the big statewide races as the University of Nebraska Regent's Jim Pillen has won the state's crowded Republican primary race for governor. Pillen celebrated the victory late last night in front of his supporters in Lincoln.
It's really, really important that we live life with the gift of appreciation and that we make sure we don't take things for granted. This guy helped us learn that in our family. And, just make sure we always remember, as Suzanne says that saying, there is no place like Nebraska.
Pillen notched a narrow win with help from much of the state's Republican establishment, including Governor Pete Ricketts, former Governor Kay Orr, and Pillen's former coach Tom Osborne. He says his top priority is helping young Nebraskans know that the grass is greenest in Nebraska, and said he will work daily to help kids get the education and training they need. He will square off against Carol Blood on the Democratic ticket after she handily won last night. In the state legislature, it is down to 2 men vying to represent Scottsbluff County in District 48. Last night, Brian Hardin and Don Lease were the top 2 vote getters out of the field of 5. Just on the outside looking in is former Scottsbluff City Councilman Scott Shaver, along with Talon Cordell and Jeremiah Teeple. Well, the Panhandle will be represented in the Nebraska Public Service Commission as Gering native Kevin Stocker edged out incumbent Mary Ritter in a very tight race on the Republican ticket. Stocker with 43% of the vote, Ritter with 41% of the vote, and Dakota Delka garnering the remaining 16% of those votes. For Nebraska's 3rd congressional district, Republican Adrian Smith will face Democrat Dave Else in November. Bob Evnen winning the Republican nod for Secretary of State, John Morante for Treasurer, Mike Hilgers for Attorney General on the Republican ticket, and Mike Foley for State Auditor. Well, coming up after the break, we will take a peek at what's happening on your midweek community calendar. We'll have that in just 90 seconds.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
Well, let's take a peek at what's happening on your midweek community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, based in Alliance, Nebraska, is the only intercity bus serving Nebraska Panhandle communities and Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Panhandle Trails operates a regularly scheduled bus service, assisting you in making connections with Greyhound bus partners, regional airports, healthcare, employment and education opportunities, shopping, family, friends, and more. Panhandle Trails serves the general public of all ages and offers accessible transportation for those with special mobility needs. Let Panhandle Trails help you make your connection. Call 308-761-8747.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, there will be a changing of the guard in Morrill County for the elected positions of County Attorney and Bridgeport Mayor. Kirk Fellholter defeated Morrill County Attorney Travis Rodak by a vote of 877 to 551 Tuesday night. Rodak had served in that position for more than a decade, while Fellholter has been working for the Scottsbluff County's Attorney's Office. In Bridgeport, their mayor race had incumbent Charlie Brown not advancing to the November general election. Brown only received 150 votes, while challengers John Erickson and Gail Beyer will vie for Brown's former post later this fall. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.